Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Paradigm Shift episode 179. 179 weeks in a row, no weeks off. How you doing? Big Dave. Let's get this going. We have not one, but two unbelievable, dynamic, multifaceted guests on today. Couldn't be more pumped. And 2 weeks from today, I will be walking down the aisle. And couldn't be more pumped about that, if we're being honest. So without further ado, let us know what you guys are pumped about in the chats. What are you excited about? Drop some questions for the guests, and let's get rolling. I know it's Saturday, and Dave and I are so thrilled that you guys take the time to join us to hopefully just elevate consciousness and elevate. There he is. Oh, thank God.
You got it. Hey, more remarkable than you getting married in 2 weeks is we will be doing Before You Get Married, episode 181. That's how consistent and committed you are.
Hell yeah. You know who I learned that from?
Say again?
Learned that from?
You learned it from your mom, and then I reinforced it.
Fair enough. Happy Saturday. How are you, Uncle Dave?
I am fantastic, man. I am sitting on the cusp of more exciting things than I ever have, and it's so nice when some of the efforts, behaviors that you put in for years come to a outcome that you never could even imagine. And so I have these beautiful opportunities and options in my life, and I've never been more excited.
And you were teaching me a valuable lesson this week on our more intimate one-on-one call, and you talking about you just have to hit a couple doubles and stay consistent, right?
Yeah, I was rereading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that city that you live in, it was considered to be one of the greatest purchases of all time. It was like $24 plus some trinkets and jewels or whatever to buy Manhattan City. And if they would have taken that money and put it into an 8% yielding fund, it would be trillions of dollars. So not only could they own Manhattan, there'd be extra money left to buy as part of Los Angeles. And so when we look at Einstein, who's one of, for me, the most intelligent people, intuitive people, and inspirational people ever to walk the earth. And yes, Mrs. Siegel, I am a true Einstein fan. He played the violin, so you don't need to test me. But more importantly, I can't wait to give you a big hug, by the way. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, think about Einstein. The simple rule of 72 is behavioral and financial in its nature. And the problem is, once again, time, that people get impatient. They're trying to live within 24 hours, 24 minutes, or 24 seconds to get their outcomes. They can't fathom 240 years or 2,400 years or 24,000 years or 24 million years or 24 billion years. That's what infinite time will do for you. And so if we can utilize today to be ferocious in our behaviors aligned with 24 billion years, it's amazing how things exponentially accelerate and compound in their outcomes.
That's a elapsed time.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, I love it. While we're bringing on our first guest, I have a good nugget for you. You do this unbelievably, and you've been teaching it to me. I think it'll be valuable for the listeners. How does one begin to upgrade their self-image, Dave?
Well, we know we're only limited by the meaning of the past and our self-image. Those are the only two that limits us. So we want to make sure we're aligning the meaning of the past with a greater self-image for our future. And so they're closely relative to each other. And so if we look at what are we doing in understanding and learning from our past, are we using gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons to align with a new self-image? Because we'll never overachieve our own self-image. And so many people, they live their life like Chicken Little. One of the quotes that I put out is the only guarantee for tomorrow I can't guarantee there'll even be taxes tomorrow. I can't guarantee you death tomorrow. I can't guarantee you're gonna die, but I can tell you the only certainty of tomorrow is failure. And so if you don't have a perspective to find the light, the love, and the lessons in failure, then you're gonna live your life like Chicken Little, and you're gonna have little chicken. And so, if you want a lot of chicken, don't be a Chicken Little. Understand the certainty of failure and use gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons to give you the meaning to increase your self-image, knowing you'll never overachieve your own self-image.
And by doing that, you can actually change the past, change the meaning you give
Of course you can. And change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah. And speaking of handsome, what's up, brother? How are you? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Adeyemi?
Adeyemi is good enough. I have a little bit of a lag, so let me know if you can hear me all well.
We hear you great. Thank you for joining us, brother. Where are you dialing in from?
Good to speak. I'm in the UK at the moment, and cheers to what you and David are doing. David, have been following you for a while. Craig recently came around you this year, so love what you all are doing, and happy to be here.
Dave, isn't this awesome? Right from the UK live.
I know, the whole world is our stage, and our friends and our neighbors are all around the world, and we're blessed to have such young, bright minds joining us every Saturday to help align a different frequency in our neighborhood. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Good to connect.
We'll just dive right in. Love your content, brother. For our community, you're in for a treat. Give him a follow. Check out what he's up to. I saw you mention this, and I thought it was really profound. I think it's worth unpacking. That no drug will ever replicate the first hit of your purpose. I love to talk about purpose. What do you mean by that exactly?
You know, the real thing when I see people who go through addiction, right? And you see this when you're in the city center, you see people struggling. They're struggling to fill a hole. They're struggling to feel something inside of them that's missing. And oftentimes what I see is this is the missingness of them not being connected to that why they're here. The real reason they're incarnated into this world. And when you see someone going through drugs, going through alcohol, going through whatever it is, and the whole process of that, they're trying to mask something, right? They're masking some inner tension, some inner trauma, some inner hole. And as soon as you connect into that purpose, as soon as you taste that reason why you are here, what happens is you have a surge energy that is like this divine force that comes through, right? Dave, I know a little bit about your schedule, less so about you, Craig, on how you wake up, how you move through life, how you go. That is that connection into purpose where you get access into a different kind of energy source. And when that hits you for the first time, it's like everything comes into coherence, right? So when I see someone who's drinking, going through drugs or whatever the case, do your thing, have fun. But let's really ask the question, what's missing? What is the hole we're trying to fill here? And have you tasted your potential? Because once you do, I promise you, nothing else, nothing, you wouldn't want to mask anything, right? You want to feel and be fully present to actuate that purpose. Beautiful, you cut that post. Nice one.
Yeah, no, first of all, great answer, Dave. This is your love language.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, purpose is aligned with applying your why, aligned with wisdom and faith to shorten the distance of resistance that we create between us and our purpose, our potential, our why, our God, our source to become greater resources. And so as we practice identifying things that interfere with our purpose, we understand that drugs and alcohol actually are interfering with our purpose. And so although it may provide a temporary false purpose to a small period of time, it's actually an interference with our higher selves, our potential, and our purpose, knowing that in the idea of being a greater resource, we have to be and have a greater or less interference with our source, the omniscient and all-powerful source, the infinite, abundant, unified system of source to become a greater resource. And so to shorten the distance, one, we need wisdom. And so our experience provides wisdom, mentorship provides wisdom, books, podcasts, interviews with gentlemen like yourselves provide wisdom. But we also have to combine it with faith, because in the end, if your purpose is not greater than the certainty of tomorrow, which I have clearly stated, the only certainty of tomorrow is pain, is failure. If your purpose is not greater than the pain, then you'll quit and you'll start accelerating in the wrong direction. So you'll use more interference to give you a temporary illusion to a why. You'll have a temporary illusion of alcohol, drugs, gambling, negative behaviors that are accelerating you away from or interfering with you being a greater resource, not just to yourself, but to everyone and everything in a unified, abundant system, collectively aggregating and accelerating and exponentially providing more in that universe, not just for tomorrow, but for the infinite time in which our souls and our energy exist. So that is one of the key components to empower people, is to understand purpose itself and the interference of our purpose.
Amen. That's who we drop the
I want
mic.
to add a little bit to
Please,
that,
please,
actually,
Please.
because one of the things that really comes up when I see this, it's a question of, can we be really authentic in the failure? Can we embrace the shame underneath the failure and create space for that shame to be? Because that's part of that human experience. And what I find is, the more a person can go through shame, the more a person can embrace the shame that they try to hide in the world, the more they open up power, and they open up that ability to actually retain more of their force. And when you mask shame, the inherent shame of failure, the inherent shame of having things happen to you, the inherent shame that comes with life, that's where you have this disconnection, because you can't reach into the deeper aspects of the pain of life. And when that failure is constant, the pain with that failure is constant, shame training that is also constant. And most people try to run from that shame. So my question is, can we go in and embrace the shame? Because as soon as you do that, you liberate the capacity to hit higher levels of consciousness. And as soon as you remove that, if you've seen the scale of consciousness from Dave Hawkins, shame is the lowest emotion, right? As soon as you remove shame, oftentimes you can really massively increase your capacity to handle higher levels of consciousness, increasing your capacity to be in that state of being, where now you have that direct source, now you have that download, and then you can now project that into the world. So I hear you on your point on failure and really being in the zone. And I find that this shame, I think we need to normalize shame in the world, where we can really hold space for ourselves as human beings, as entrepreneurs, as people trying, for it to be okay to be in the shame and the failure of that, right? And to sit in that, because that's where you find authenticity. And they did a study where authenticity, I believe, 400 times stronger than the power of love. Once you're in authenticity, now you're in your uniqueness. Now you can really project life, because for the first time, you can really make people feel you. And the people who you need to repel from your life, you repel them. And the people and the things and the situations you can attract, because you're in that unique frequency of your godness, of that frequency of godness. So very, very, very much resonant there. And an addition on
And I
that.
think,
I couldn't love this more.
1 second, Craig, too, I think it's important to know all reactions to fear and blame, shame, justification, the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, all reactions to fear, which are instant and obvious, we need to identify and process them and get back to center ease, because they are dis-ease. And it's very important to realize that these are all the same vibration or frequency, as you stated. All reactions to fear have that lower vibration, that lower frequency, that is actually interfering with your authenticity, your, what I call your skills, your knowledge, and your desire, which for me is a pragmatic way of analyzing who we are. If we examine and take inventory of our skills, our knowledge of who and what, and our desire, we can get at least a pragmatic perception of what is our essence, instead of this kind of obtuse woo-woo, you got to be authentic. It's we get lost in stable data. So I try to give people a pragmatic framework, at least they can start working on, to understand the incredible advice that you're giving. So thank you so much. It's so aligned with what we're doing here. Amazing.
Yeah, that was beautiful, brother. I love this stuff. We're going to bring on our second guest. If you have 10 minutes, love for you to hang out, brother. If not, we understand.
Let's do
But
that.
this is unbelievable. Yeah, I love what you talked about there. And Dave, a word that came to mind was you always talk about illuminating.
Yeah.
Cedric, what's up, brother? Good morning. How are you?
How's it going, guys?
It's going
Can you
great.
hear me?
Can hear you great. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm dialing in from Atlanta, man. I'm in the middle of my 20 miler. I told Alex I would do it today. so I got to get right back to it. But man, you're talking about fear, man. You guys are so dialed in right now. Wow. Dave, I think I met you a few years ago. You really
Yes,
impressed
sir.
me. I think it was in San Diego.
That's one of my homes are down there. Yes, I think we did, and it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Cedric, we're going to dive right in. I love your work, brother. So inspiring. I can't wait to showcase you to our community and so forth. One of the things that you talk about that I thought is really special is how you shouldn't wait to celebrate. Why is that so important for you?
All right. So this is a classic example today. Right now, I am on mile 14.6. All right. I got to do a 20 miler today. If I wait until I get to mile 20 to be excited about getting to that finish line, the whole race would be wasted. Those are opportunities to celebrate. Mile 1, celebrate. Mile 2, celebrate. Mile 3, celebrate. This is an opportunity for you to celebrate the whole time. And most people, we waste awesome, incredible moments by not celebrating into the finish line. You can't afford to do that. We don't have enough time in our life to do that. You got to celebrate as soon as you can. Every milestone is a party. Every
David.
milestone is a party.
Yeah,
You're getting ready to get married, man. You're getting ready to get married.
and we're celebrating.
I love that. I love that.
I'll be
Year
breakdancing.
year
So
one is a celebration, but man, every day is a celebration. Why do we wait until till year 20 to celebrate? Why do we wait until year 10 to celebrate? Every day is a celebration, and I learned that the hard way after losing my legs
yeah.
in combat.
So I have a saying, right? We want to celebrate everything celebratable. And that's why they're all surprised that I celebrate. I mean, December is difficult for me because I'm giving presents to everybody for every reason. There's so much to celebrate in December. Every single religion has something going on in December, and I'm celebrating them all. But let me tell you the ingredients to celebrate. And we talked about one, which is gratitude allows us to celebrate because we're finding in mile 1 the light, the love, and the lessons, but also forgiveness allows us to celebrate because we stated also that failure is a guarantee and we need to forgive ourselves for our failures. And then 3, accountability is the third ingredient of celebration, because when we take control of our lives by learning lessons through being responsible, by attracting it, and participating in the perception, that's where the 3 ingredients of celebrating everything celebratable. And if you're always celebrating, man, your life is good.
Amen.
That is exactly what I feel every day. I wish it wouldn't have taken for me to lose both my legs to realize this, but every day is a celebration. Every day is an opportunity to give gratitude to my maker. Even
Man, I think
especially during the tough times.
so good
Especially during the tough
to have
times.
that kind of bliss to give into the world and to just be there, be present, feel into the heart, and have this open heart that you can project into the world through your smile, through your being, through each single mile you take. It's so beautiful, man, to have that. And I think that's a gift in and of itself to give, even the courage of celebration, like to have the courage of celebrating, right? Because and not get into this foreboding joy where something good has happened, so your mind switches into some level of fear that shuts that up. But to have the vulnerability to celebrate, beautiful.
Yeah.
I've noticed today on this run, the more I give celebration for each mile, the more I give other people the permission to do it too. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that changes your vibration, David. You're always celebrating.
Yeah.
It so does.
And everybody else, I love the idea of liberating ourselves to liberate others, to give them permission to shine. And a lot of people hide their light because they think that that's going to inhibit other people from shining. And I tell people all the time, I said, why not celebrate when somebody else makes millions of dollars? Why are you hating that? Why not celebrate that? Because it'll liberate you. Just because someone, and this is proven on earth today, just because someone makes $1 billion doesn't stop you. There's more billionaires today than there's ever been. So don't be the hater, be the celebrator, and go ahead and let your light shine so you can liberate other people to let their light shine. It doesn't make any sense to me why people are restricting the love and the celebration for others as well as themselves.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Why didn't
Cedric,
you
I know you
tell
want
me
to
I
get back
needed a
at it.
notepad? Why didn't you tell me I needed a notepad today?
Cedric, I want you
We'll
to get
send you
back.
the recording. You can transcribe it with AI.
All right.
You don't want to waste your time taking notes anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Cedric, I know you want to get back at it, but I know what it's like when you're training. One more quick nugget, and then you're on your way. You talk about keeping a song in your heart. I thought that was so beautiful. What do you mean by that exactly?
5 minutes ago, five minutes ago, I am coming across this street right here, and that's mile 14.1. And I come across it. It's an opportunity for me to sing. You gotta sing your song. You gotta sing your song, and more importantly, you gotta sing your song like nobody's watching. That's what it takes. You could not sit around and when people watch you, you shut up and you stop singing. No, it doesn't matter if you can sing good or not. The human spirit needs to sing. That's a celebration all in its own. And when you sing from with everything you have in you, everybody out here is like, yeah, high-fiving me coming across the street. Almost got hit. It's crazy. That's what it takes. You got to do that. Who cares if you're singing good? Who cares if you're singing bad? It's about how you feel about it. It's about the vibration that's going through you when nothing else matters but the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's what it's about, man. It ain't about if you can sing good or not. Who cares if you can sing good? It's about how you feel. And that vibration is so contagious.
Cedric's on fire. Got that runner's high,
So
baby.
contagious. Like they high-fived me right across the street. It was like I sing terrible, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Just a comment real quick, Craig. You know, when Cedric speaks, uh, obviously, or sings, it's indicative of intention. And, you know, every time I drink my water, I think about and put intention into the water because I'm 80% water. When we sing, your cells take on that vibration and frequency. And you are actually utilizing intention of what we do, what we say, what we think, what we feel, and what we believe. And we all know the mathematical equation that what we pay attention to through our song, for example, and what we give intention to in the path of our 20-mile run or in the path of our journey to help others or whatever your path or journey is today, it is attention plus intention that will equal the coincidences of our journey, the coinciding, the results, the consequences. And so it is not luck that Cedric is where he's at and we are where we are today. It is a matter of math. It is a matter of what you pay attention to and what songs you're singing with your intention to equal the coincidences that you want, hopefully in a higher vibration or frequency, to elevate our potential, our higher selves, full of love, full of light, and full of lessons. And you are an inspiration to so many people, Cedric, and we got to get back together. I'll come visit you in Atlanta, man. You don't have to come to San Diego. I'll sweat my balls off just to come see you.
Give it about a month. It's a little hot here today, all right? Give it about a month, all right? All right,
Cedric,
man.
thank
Hey,
you
I'm
so
on.
much, brother. Enjoy the rest of your runs.
All right, man. All right, guys. You guys take it easy.
Run fast, brother.
I will. I will.
Adeyemi, I just have one more nugget for you, brother, if you have a second.
Let's try.
Yeah, I saw you were talking about it, and I really want to unpack this. It's kind of relevant to where I'm at. Is for men, intimate relationships are required for you to have that next level of bliss in your life. Why is that so important for you?
For me, the name of the game is not about how successful you can be with armor. right? It's not about living a life with an armored heart that leads you to make a lot of money, have a lot of success. But when you really look at your life and the way you show up on a physical level, there's a rigidity that leads to wealth creation, that leads to the creation that most people go through and they bring in their life. Most of the time, that's ego-based. That's a protection mechanism on the heart. That's a protection mechanism on feeling, right? And that protection mechanism ends up forming a layer of protection, which leads into this ability to disconnect, but to project into the world, to get something from the world, to make money, to make success, just to, again, try to cover that hole or make you feel a little bit more all right. And this whole thing, this whole process, the alchemical process, is really one where you can allow yourself to take a leap from the egoic method of creation to that point where you open your heart fully and really allow your heart to crack. And an intimate relationship is one of the best places for this, if the woman is also at a level where she's requiring and calling you into a deeper sense of depth. Not when she is, again, reinforcing that egoic construct that leads you to go back into the world with armor. So for me, I think we're at a point now where the next generation of men, the next level of coming into this world and living and existing, is one that comes from the heart. And that's an open heart. That's a heart of frequency, of loving life, loving yourself. And again, that's where you can now do the work of all the shame and all the different things we've talked about. So for me, with a woman coming into life with some level of intimate relationship, depending on however that configuration stands, it's an invitation for you to open your heart. And the question most men are going to have to face in that sense is, can you open your heart to face whatever has been preventing you from fully falling in love and risking your real essence in this life? And for that process, intimate relationships crack that open. But again, it's for the man or for the person. Again, it goes both ways. I just speak to men. It's for that person to be brave enough to step into that and ask the question, what is my capacity for fully loving life and fully showing up to the world with my heart in that position of risk? That is where you get the failures you need. That is where you get the shame you need. That is where you have the opportunity to trigger the coincidences that lead you to being able to process all of those emotions that have kept you back from, again, showing up in that maximum potential. So for me, on the purpose work, on the potential work, it's not a case of what's your potential on a monetary level and how many billions you can make from that egoic construct of pain. Because again, 80% of the entrepreneurs and the people who are successful do so from adversity, right? That's a shell. And the same energy that leads to the billionaire is typically the same energy that can lead to the homeless person, because it's the different response to trauma. With intimate relationships, you're asking that question, can I actually open this heart to love? That triggers a lot of things. But the man that comes out of a situation where he has fully risked his heart is very different from the one who went through different levels of connection without fully opening his heart. And it's night and day difference.
That's beautiful, right there.
Yeah, well, you're about to get married, and I'm going to be celebrating right before your wedding, my 27th wedding anniversary. And I always suggest that people go in the dictionary or search words that start with in. And it's indicative of learning the greatest reflections, the rules of being human. And one of the greatest things in the intimacy of all relationships is the reflection that it requires, and our ability to find outside of us what we have, as you stated, found inside of us. This love, this unconditional love and reflection of being human. There's many different statements and quotes about, people that we have intimate relationships. They know everything about us and love us anyway. I think that's indicative of loving ourselves. And when we have a strong, intimate relationship, it's a reflection of self-love. And the more we love ourselves and the more love we have inside of us, the more we can give outside of us. And I highly agree that everyone should have an intimate relationship. My grandfather said you need three things in life. You need to learn to love what you do, because a third of your life will be spent in an activity you get paid for. You need to have an intimate partner, because that's the liaison between you and the rest of the world. And you need to have the best bed you can find, because you'll spend the other third of your life sleeping and stooping. And you want to make sure you're very comfortable when you sleep and stoop. If you're Russian, you understand what that word means. You probably figured it out. It means something intimate, though. So I think the wisdom that we shared today and the faith and inspiration through our guests, Craig and you, are always unparalleled. And please reach out to me. I'd love to have you on other shows and do more with you guys. So congratulations to both of you, and I look forward to being of service and of value. God bless you both.
I'll keep both a DM. Much love to you, and I agree. Buy the best bed.
Likewise, guys. This was special. Have an awesome weekend, and thank you guys for your beautiful energy and resonance.
Where can
Love you
people
both.
reach you? Where can people reach you?
Everyone can find me on Adeyemi Adeyosoye. It's a long name, so Adeyemi, Adeyosoye. You find me on anything on social media. It's super easy to find me there. Dave, I'll drop you a DM. I actually dropped your team a DM. We're meant to schedule something, so let's get that back on. Craig would do the same. I love the energy you guys show up with, and it just feels like kindred souls, super easy to connect and go into the depth. So I imagine what the off-camera conversation would be like. Love to you both.
And Dave, where are you traveling next so people can hop on board?
Yeah, we're going to be filming. We have Orange County VIP dinner, filming season 6, the second half of 2-Minute Drill, Monday and Tuesday in Orange County. Wednesday, I'll be in Nashville. So come and join us down there for a content mastermind and dinner. And then I'm in the Aspire Tour in Phoenix. So if you're around, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Both of you guys, email me directly. I love you both. Be of service and of value. Be more interested than interesting as you are. Have a great weekend.
Bye, boys. Take care. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.